Get ready to question your bank balance, your taste in finishes, whether you really need another practice amp, and prepare to get gas because it's time for the Week in Gear. This week, Behringer builds a classic phaser for the masses, Blackstar clearly wants to eat the boss's lunch, and PRS drop a Telecaster that's, dare I say, kind of tasteful? This episode is sponsored by THOMANN's Summer Sale. More about that in a little bit. Now, let's kick off this week's 6 most exciting gear releases with a pedal with wooden sides. Behringer have cloned another Moog pedal, and this time it's the MF103 12-stage phaser. I'm not going to talk much about this week as the Behringer is just up for pre-order, and I will cover it properly when it starts shipping or we get closer to that date. But if you've always wanted a Moog MF103 but missed out on one when they were new, and you don't want to fork out the 1,000 notes for one on reverb, the Behringer will set you back only about 100 notes. Good old Behringer. Maybe. So not much more on that, but the gasometer soars into buy it now. Easy choice, and what a start to the week. And I've actually pre-ordered one, and hopefully it will arrive very soon, or by the end of the year. You can also pre-order one using the links below. Mooer are back, and this time they've built a smart amp. Like, actually pretty smart. This is the F15i Li. That's a mouthful. A portable stereo 15-watt modeling amp with a full color touchscreen, rechargeable battery, and enough built-in tech to confuse your toaster. You get 55 amp models, 55 cheeseburgers, you get 55 amp models, 69 effects, built-in drum machine with 60 drum patterns and 10 types of metronome for some reason, a 60-second looper, synchronizable with the drum machine, and you can operate it with one of these external foot switches from Mooer. It's got a built-in tuner, Bluetooth audio, USB-C for direct recording to your phone or computer, aux in, and it all runs on Mooer's updated MNRS engine, which is their fancy way of saying, it sounds better now, promise. The user interface is touchscreen based, and it is mostly intuitive. Think sort of Line 6 Catalyst meets a Kindle Fire, or an Apple Watch, or a Garmin watch if you're that way inclined. Not sponsored. No, definitely not sponsored. It probably isn't going to happen, is it? Big company like that watching a tiny little show like this that no one clicks the subscribe button on. Mooer stick this in a plastic box with stereo speakers, and it's all for about 150 notes. I can't wait to try one. It looks very promising. Now, here's the bit I like most. This feels very closely related to something I have with me right now. The Mooer Prime M2. And it seems like a similar interface, like they've stuck a watch on an amp and on a pedal. And yeah, same IR tech. It seems basically like they've got the Prime M2 with some speakers and a carry handle. Actually, a review of the Prime M2 is coming out very soon, so keep an eye on for that. Maybe even click the subscribe button. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. In that order. The F15i Li, which sounds like something Tom Cruise would recklessly use to request a flyby, but design-wise, it looks like something you'd see in a Swedish living room next to a coffee table plant. And the white version especially gives off big, minimalist podcast studio energy. I expect to see it in the background of many YouTube videos, but they don't actually know what it does or where it fits, but it looks cool. And while it is designed for home use, the battery makes it perfect for garden jams, or for busking, or for noodling in your car, while you ignore your responsibilities for up to 6 hours. The downside, there is quite a bit of menu diving and less physical knobs, meaning that you're swiping quite a lot, unless you pair it with one of these, which you can do. If you like tactile control, however, you might find yourself pining for an old school dial. Grandad. Grandma. Me. If this amp sounds good, this could be a fantastic choice for someone looking to venture outside of their bedroom and into the wilderness. I would really need to hear it to see if that tiny box can actually sound inspiring, but with the rest of the tech, I'm on board, which is why the gasometer raises to add to cart on this one. For some, however, I can see it being an absolute no-brainer at that price. Right, I see you, Blackstar. You took a little look at the Boss Katana and said, "Huh, we can do that, but shinier." So let's see what you've actually done, you sneaky, sneaky Blackstar. This is the IDX series, a completely overhauled digital amp line with 6 enhanced amp voices ranging from clean all the way up to high gain tones. There's over 30 effects. It's got 99 patch storage locations. There's an OLED display. Did I say that right? OLED. OLED. OLED display with real-time feedback. My doorbell's ringing. It's probably Blackstar delivering my amp. There's an There's an OLED display with real-time feedback for effects, customization, patch navigation, and editing. And it has a built-in tuner. It's got an effects loop. There's USB audio, line in. It's got loads of stuff in it. The sort of things you'd expect if you were to build an amp to directly compete with the Boss Katana range. Thank you, mate. It's not an amp, but I hope it's not an amp. I wonder what that is. This new amp range also introduces Blackstar. I just realized I threw that on the floor. This new amp range also introduces Blackstar's In the Room technology, which aims to replicate the experience of playing next to an amp rather than more studio-focused tones, which is the traditional impulse responses, I guess. I have no idea what any of that means in real terms, but I do have one on its way to the studio. Nope, not yet. So I will find out soon enough. There are currently 2 models in the range, the IDX50 and the IDX100, with the numbers referring to the output wattage, but the 100 also has a few more tricks up its sleeve, such as MIDI and XLR out. I know I've said it several times, but this is clearly Blackstar's attempt to knock the Boss Katana off its throne as the go-to do-it-all amp. And on paper, it does look like it could at least sit next to it. Blackstar are not here to play. They are here to win back the crowd that went all in on Boss Katana 100s and forgot that Blackstar existed. Gonna be a tasty fight. Prices start around 300 notes for the 50 and 400 notes for the 100, depending on your location. This is a very competitive price, and I can't wait to see what kind of fires this starts online. Let's start them now. Go on, get in that comment section. Expect bundles, expect demos, and people on forums arguing whether it feels like a tube amp. Honestly, I really don't know how the gasometer feels here, and I really need to try this, as it's either going to be a complete knockout or a complete miss. And I will reserve most of my judgment for when I review it in the coming days. I will say that Blackstar are very confident, however, and it is great to see some healthy competition in the market, as that can only be very good for us mere guitarists. Let's have a little break from this to talk about things on sale in THOMANN's summer sale. THOMANN have a summer sale where you can save up to 70% on guitars, amps, pedals, and more. Let's take a look at my picks for this week. There is a classic fuzz pedal there with 55% off. I got one. Here is the Harley Benton ST62, one of the vintage series. That's even cheaper now with 11% off. One of the prettiest looking wah pedals I've ever seen. And it's functional too. It's got 12% off, and it's the Dunlop Leonica. It's the Mardi Gras, the purple and green one. If you want to check out the whole list of items on sale, have a look at the link in the video description, which will send you right to the page that you need. And a little tip, you can sort by categories, and I'm going to go for electric guitars, acoustic guitars, and electric guitar amps and guitar and bass effects. Click that, and then you can sort that by low to high product, giving you the best savings. The sale ends on July 22nd, so get there now. And a big thank you to THOMANN for sponsoring the Week in Gear. Now on with the show. Okay, PRS. Are you okay, PRS? Because the SENF53 is dangerously close to a Telecaster, and yes, we've seen it before in the full-fat US built version, but now we have one that people might actually be able to afford. The SENF53, which is fun to say, is the latest non-Telecaster from PRS, and it's basically their way of saying, you want twang? Fine. We'll give you twang, but we'll make it PRS. It's got a swamp ash body, 22 frets, a bolt-on 25.5-inch scale length maple neck with a pair of PRS's narrow field DD pickups, the old double Ds, which in PRS speak means mini humbuckers putting on a single coil voice. I think a bit fatter than a single coil and snappier than a PAF. Sort of, in my head, a Filtertron sort of sound that spent a semester abroad. You get a 3-way blade switch, volume and tone knobs, and that familiar PRS headstock poking out of an otherwise very T-style silhouette. It comes in 3 finishes: white dog hair, black dog hair, and pearl white. The neck seems quite chunky looking at the measurements, which excites me. The fretboard has the birds, and if these are anything like the other SE model that I played recently, we're in for a treat. However, the street price is going to be around 1,000 notes, which for a PRS seems acceptable. But in a world of tele copies, 1,000 notes is going to leave a lot of people still opting for Squires and house brand models. And as a recent PRS convert, I've almost jumped over the line. I am sure there's going to be some magic in the SENF53, but it's going to take a lot for some people to part with that much cash, unless they are already PRS fans. I am pretty into it though, I'll be honest. I've come around from the full-fat American version, which I wasn't that impressed by at first. It looked a bit weird. The gasometer raises an eyebrow, looks around to see that no one else is looking, and quietly adds this to the cart. In at number 2, the Gibson Les Paul Music City Special 50th Anniversary. Alright, I do need to level with you. This is a Les Paul, but also it's not a Les Paul. The Gibson Les Paul Music City Special is a hybrid of 2 guitars that were almost failed attempts back in the 70s, but now they seem so cool. Gibson have taken their Music City Junior and their Marauder and came up with this and put Les Paul in the name for some reason. And I love it. It is peak weird Gibson. This isn't your average 60s burst. It's got 2 Gibson 70s tribute humbuckers, a poplar body, and a slim taper maple neck. On that is an ebony fretboard and a 5-ply pickguard with a 3-way switch and volume and tone knobs. The finishes are full 70s vibes. You've got wine red, ebony, or tobacco burst with matching black plastics and a sort of, yeah, I play in a bar band attitude. It's built in the USA, it comes with a soft shell case, and pricing is around 1,500 to around 1,800 notes, depending on your finish and how nostalgic your retailer is feeling. Honestly, I love it. I love it so much. It feels like, or it looks like, something Tom Petty would play in a high school gymnasium, and that's a compliment. I would be seriously gassing over this if it weren't for that slim taper neck, but I guess that is more 70s. Is that more 70s? No, I don't know. Anyway, I wouldn't buy it because of the slim taper neck, but if you feel like getting saucy and buying one, there are only 650 of each colour, so do not let FOMO be in charge of your finances. Let's take a look at the gasometer. I know it's not sensible, but can you smell smoke? Yeah, because my wallet is on fire with this, and I'm not even embarrassed about it. Do your worst in the comments section. I can take it.
pick of the week.
My pick of the week is the Hartwood Drifter, and it is right there. I've already done a full review this week. Click on the card up there. You might regret it. Click it if you want to. But the Hartwood Drifter deserves a little bit of a closer look here, because this thing honestly punches way above its weight, and it is the most sensible and best value guitar on the list this week. Let's do a specs roundup. Take notes because these are legit. Body, lightweight basswood. Glossy finish in blue, green, red, or sunburst, and that's the blue one there. I wish it were red. There's a neck on it. That neck has a 25-inch scale. Strange choice. A satin roasted maple neck. I've already said the word neck. Satin roasted maple in a modern C profile, which I know I don't normally like, but this has more shoulder than usual, so there's a bit more of it. The fretboard is 16-inch radius, which is super flat, and there's 22 medium jumbo frets. The electronics are dual P90 pickups, which are kind of bright and snappy and mid-forward, I would say, with volume, tone, and a three-way switch. I was thinking about playing it then. I was trying to remember the sound samples, and that's not bursting with clarity. It is fun though. As for the hardware, there's a vintage style 6-screw tremolo, chrome tuners, and a synthetic bone nut with, 2 string trees. It looks like a classic offset, but it feels sturdy and well made, and it's affordable. The satin neck is slick, the fretboard radius makes bends and chords easy, the P90s cut through, again, not with the biggest clarity, but it is surprising what it can do at this price point. The metallic blue and the other colours, the red being my favourite, look slick. Good choices. They look like money, but these guitars are only around 200 notes. At this price, it should certainly be on your list. Just kind of like looking at it. It's very Harmony silhouette, by the way. So I think Hartwood have been inspired there. The thing is, it feels nice. The roasted maple neck isn't sticky. It's sturdy yet light. The balance is dead on, and I've played it through cleans and overdrive, and it does pretty much everything. And although you shouldn't be expecting the world from those pickups, it does better than the price should allow it to. Gasometer, what say ye? Yes, my wallet is on fire. Buy it now, add to cart, all of it. Hartwood are bringing out some excellent stuff, and this one feels like it should be about twice the price. Thank you to all the wonderful people that support the show on Patreon. Their names are up on screen now. Hello everybody, thank you. And these people support the show right here on YouTube. Hello to you as well. Thank you so much. If you want your name up in digital lights, then click the join button right here on YouTube, or visit my Patreon link in the video description. And here's a special thanks to the top tier members. Here we go. Alinta, Buddha Blue, Boom Shakalaka, Buzzle, Dirk, Doug Paget, Hugh, G. Rection, Yindrik Strelka, Johnny McBadminton, Mike Lute, Andrew Morgan, Gary O'Neill, Josh Tamberg, Man, Dude, Bro, PQ Deads, Rob in Kelly, Sarang Narayan, Southern Panda 33. Yeah! Thank you top tier members. I appreciate you. If you've got thoughts on this week's gear, let me know in the comments section below, and don't forget to visit THOMANN's summer sale. I will see you next week. And now, I'm off on my holidays. Tatty bye! I've got shorts on.